Most of us cross our 50th birthday and think of it as a milestone. But a milestone of what? Is it the beginning of the end, as the conventional wisdom suggests? Our lapsing memories, widening waistlines, and fading fertility can make us think it is. Or is it the beginning of the beginning, as I and countless other women believe it is? Of course, it's a little of both, which is why so many of us are both elated and dazed and confused. The easy response to this existential bewilderment, and we get this from our friends, our doctors, sorry, doctor. We get it from our friends, our doctors, our partners, and even from ourselves. Oh, we say, this is menopausal madness, and it will pass. But it won't. The restlessness and confusion, the mix of hope and despair, signal a life transition as profound and far-reaching as adolescence. In both cases, we are asking ourselves who we are, what matters to us, and how we can be engaged in the world. Big questions that take some trial and error to answer. No generation before ours has had to navigate this transition. We are the first to contemplate the prospect of as many years of adulthood ahead as we have already lived. A second adulthood. Between those two lies the fertile void, where we grapple with the question, what am I going to do with the rest of my life? At first, we thrash around trying to figure out what's going on. In our desperation to do something, we try various things, including some pretty silly things, and sometimes we make real fools of ourselves. That risk-taking and fool-making is a good thing. It is liberating. Sooner or later, every woman hears herself say, you know what? I don't care what people think anymore. That unladylike behavior is the hallmark of what I call the fuck you 50s. All the seemingly aimless activity eventually throws us into a tailspin. We feel like we're falling into Alice's rabbit hole. That's the fertile void. And it's in that gravity-free zone that we sort things out and shake things up. We shed the voices of shoulda, woulda, coulda thinking and begin to sense the presence of an internal compass, our own voice. Let me illustrate by telling you my story. My first step into the fertile void was backwards off a 90-foot cliff. How I got there is an example of this unexpected behavior that I mentioned. I had been a tomboy, but as I grew up, like many women, I abandoned strength for coyness. After years of inactivity, I suddenly signed up for a week-long outward-bound program. On the last day, we were led through a sweet-smelling forest towards a lovely clearing. And I thought, how nice, we're going to have a picnic and we're going to celebrate our accomplishments and exchange phone numbers, and it's going to be great. But no. Ahead in the clearing lay a row of sinisterly coiled ropes at the edge of nothing. Dumb with terror, I let myself be suited up in full rappelling gear in order to walk down what could have been the face of my 12-story apartment building. I was not very reassured by the words of our leader, who said, "Fear is absolutely appropriate here." He said, after all, evolution doesn't have much interest in creatures that walk backward off of 90-foot cliffs. So I made it down, but when I hit terra firma, I really freaked out. I was crying and laughing and collapsing. My knees gave way, and I was absolutely unable to gather my feelings. As the others made their way down, though, I pulled myself together and began to digest my accomplishment. I certainly had learned the lesson that this exercise was designed to teach, that fear is not an unacceptable response, but it can be confronted. My real breakthrough, though, came later. As the group relaxed in the valley below the awesome cliff, our instructors called us to attention. Now, you must understand that over the week of training, we had done everything they told us to. Jumping into cold water at dawn, sleeping out on a desert island, swinging on a rope into a web net, like in the marine recruiting ads. So we were ready to do whatever they told us. It was time, they said, to climb back up. Now, maybe it was the fact that I was so totally wasted by the emotional and physical exertion, but I think it was the overcoming the fear on the way down that gave me the courage to speak up, to listen to the voice calling out from inside, to say no. Now, I have to tell you, and I still can feel it, that no was the loudest sound I had ever made in my life. It stirred more emotions than the feat that I had accomplished. For what felt like the very first time, I said what I meant, I did what I needed to do, and not what I was expected to do. And to my amazement, it wasn't the end of the world. Okay, said the instructor, the path up is over there. The fertile void is not only a void in which we search for our voice, it is also where a new kind of fertility reveals itself. Once there, you begin taking yourself apart and putting yourself back together. You enter feeling broken, and you emerge feeling broken open. The process is a mission without a goal. We get impatient. We feel frantic and stuck. The unremitting unknowingness is maddening. But desperate as we are, we have to give ourselves some slack. We have to go with the flow. The solution to being stuck is being still. The stillness goes against everything we have learned about getting through the day. We are a generation that perfected multitasking and efficiency. I still debate with myself when I'm putting on my sneakers. Do I do sock, sock, shoe, shoe, or sock, shoe, sock, shoe? And I will probably go to my grave not having resolved that question. We've also gotten very good at mind reading. We're expert at tuning into the needs of those we love, often at the expense of our own needs. It seems so selfish to put ourselves first. But it is time, as Gloria Steinem says, to change the golden rule and do unto yourselves as you have been doing unto others. For many of us, it takes a year or more to disengage from structure and habits. It takes time to shed the emotional and psychological baggage of a lifetime. It takes time to reconsider our priorities and relationships and to consider the consequences. That's what we do in the fertile void. By the time we head out of the fertile void, we are traveling lighter and our very own pilot light is shining strong and true. In the distance, you can make out a safe harbor. It is your authentic and empowered self. In the Gnostic Gospels, Jesus is reported to have said, "If you bring forth what is within you, what you bring forth will save you. If you do not bring forth what is within you, what you do not bring forth will destroy you." The fertile void is where that choice is made.